And moving on, consumer sentiment in Korea dropped to its lowest point in more than a year this month, despite government efforts to prop up the ailing economy. Sluggish economic conditions at home and abroad were to blame. Hwang Ji-hye has the details.
The Korean government is trying to boost economic sentiment through a set of aggressive stimulus measures, but those efforts are not bearing fruit, not yet, at least. The Bank of Korea says the country's consumer sentiment index came in at 103 this month, down 2 points from a month earlier. The figure is even lower than the level recorded just after the Sewol-ho ferry sinking in April, a tragedy that seriously dented private consumption. The index hovered at around the 108 level in the first 4 months of this year, but dropped to 105 in May following the disaster. Despite the drop, a reading above 100 indicates that optimists still outnumber pessimists. The monthly index reflects the overall economic outlook of consumers, their living conditions, and future spending plans. The central bank says the drop in this month's index largely stems from sluggish domestic demand and worsening global economic conditions like the weakening Japanese yen and the U.S. Federal Reserve cutting back its stimulus measures. Experts add that concerns over the slowing profitability of local exporters were also reflected in this month's Consumer Sentiment Index. Korea is heavily reliant on exports, which account for more than half of the country's total output. Hwang Ji-hye, Arirang News.